So, Mark, did you see that crazy video of the truck that blew out their tire? It was on fire, and they decided to just keep going, even ran a red light all the way up the strip, and then, of course, the truck caught fire. This is one of the dumbest things I've ever seen, although I am impressed with how far they got before they had to stop.
Yeah, I don't know what, metal on pavement doesn't usually work out so well. You're going to sparks, and you got all the stuff that will ignite in a car. So I don't know what the plan was there or what he was doing. I don't know if he was like running away. Like, I'm hoping that he robbed a casino and he was trying to get away. It's the only thing that would make sense.
Hopefully he got arrested for reckless driving.
Yeah, it's just the only thing I've seen that's like as crazy as a guy that tried to drag race once in a Viper, which are really hard to handle, I guess, driving. And he gunned it and then immediately hit a sign and blew up. So this is at that level.
So, Mark, we did a video a few weeks ago talking about Circus Circus being under the knife and that they were going to start painting it. And they're in the middle of some renovations. I think it was like $30 million. So don't expect miracles to happen. Although we're finally seeing that big top out in front of Circus Circus get painted, a hot pink color. I love it. It looks vibrant. I'm so excited. I can't believe it took them this long to do that because it looks so terrible before.
Yeah, I'm shocked that they let it go as long as they did and as far as it went down. It just looks like trash and garbage. And that's the first thing people really see to draw them in. It's money well spent. And I would imagine it was a small portion of that $30 million budget to repaint it. And you see how much better it looks when it's like halfway done. So I don't know what they were doing for all these years. It should have been something that was upkept. And, we're seeing it with the Paris thing out front, too, where it's not painted well and it's starting to show its age. So hopefully Caesars gets on that. But, yeah, they took way too long to get this done, but it looks awesome.
Yeah, I feel like Circus Circus took disrepair to another level, especially with, like, the plywood roof on that. And you can see in the picture the left versus the right and exactly what it looked like before. And excited for this. I hope the main towers get a nice coat of paint and we get some of that pink. I know people on Twitter were debating whether that pink is too bright. I like it. I think it's going to stand out. I don't remember if it was that pink before. I think it was that color of pink before, but maybe this is a brighter one. But do you think it should be a little darker, or do you like this color?
It doesn't even really look pink to me. It looks almost reddish, but I'm terrible with colors. So I like it. I think it stands out. I'm good with it. I don't remember what it looked like. It always has looked like garbage to me. So, the times I've seen Circus Circus. So this is just an improvement. I don't care. They could have painted it blue. Who cares? It looks great.
Exactly. Anything would be an improvement. A blue Circus Circus. Why not? Some people said it looked like the T-Mobile magenta. I could kind of see that. Either way, it's a big improvement on the north end of the strip. So let's talk residencies for a second. We talked to Dell on the last show. Kelly Clarkson announced a new residency with 10 shows at Planet Hollywood between July 28th and August 19th, an intimate evening with Kelly Clarkson. So the residency train continues.
Oh, and Kelly Clarkson.
And Casino.org, they released this list of the top grossing residencies in Las Vegas history. And Adele only comes in at number 4. And who do you think came in at number 1?
Well, I've seen the list, so I know the answer. But my original thought was Celine, and she's not even on the list because it's based on per show gross versus total gross. So I was like, oh, it's got to be Celine Dion, but it was not.
Yeah, and these numbers aren't adjusted for inflation either. But Lady Gaga coming in at number 1 from Park MGM. $78 million box office gross per residency, $1.5 million per show, and Bruno Mars number 2 at $1.3 million. So both of those are Park MGM residencies at the new Park Theater. I guess that's reinforcement that building that theater as part of the renovation was a great idea. And J-Lo coming in at number 3. She worked really hard. J-Lo, $101.9 million.
Yeah, I was surprised to see her up there. Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars, less surprising because they did it while they're in their prime. And usually, you go to Vegas a little bit like a decade after your prime, and both of them are still cranking out hits. So I think that makes a lot of sense that they're up there, versus a Celine Dion who did it at the end of her career after Titanic blew her up.
Yeah, big business. Kelly Clarkson throwing her diva hat in the ring, and welcome to Las Vegas, Kelly Clarkson. Looking forward to that. Did you hear about this big casino heist in Colorado where this cashier decided to just start loading bricks of $50,000 into a box, eventually taped it up, walked out of the casino, took it, but then came back, grabbed even more cash, walked out, took it. I think it was like $550,000 altogether. How the heck did this happen? What was security doing?
Yeah, we make fun of, Vegas robberies for 30 grand and nobody doing anything. But when you're going in and out a couple times carrying boxes from the cashier cage, that's pretty messed up. And it's funny that, she says, I was doing this because I got a call from what I thought was a manager and they told me I needed to do this. At UPS, we were going to be in violation if we didn't get the money out or something. So she's dropping it off outside of a hospital at like 4 a.m, which you're like, okay, that has to be a lie. But we see all these people that get scammed on the phone by people saying they're IRS, send me Home Depot gift cards or Target gift cards. And we're like, how can you think that? But there's something weird that triggers in your brain when you get in panic and you don't make good decisions. So maybe that really did happen that way. It's still just bizarre.
Yeah, when I worked at MGM Grand, the count room and the cage were completely like separate and they had security at the door. I really don't know how that happens. I mean, they are under more scrutiny, so just anything coming in and out of there is supposed to be watched, and just being able to carry it out of the cage and especially loading it into a box and then taping the box up, you would think that somebody was watching that, but apparently not. And, this is a smaller casino, so that's, I guess, maybe makes more sense, although they probably should review their security procedures. I doubt this would happen at a big Vegas casino because they are watching, and generally they do have security right there. But yeah, it's a crazy story, and you're always going to get caught, though. That's the thing, is how are you going to get away with it? They're going to know the money's gone. They're going to see who took it. Cameras everywhere. So it's not like it's a crime you could really get away with.
No, I mean, we could do the long play here where you just work at a casino cage and then you do it one night. But you got to be like close to the border and just get out of town and never come back. But it's funny that once she figured out that she called and, said, hey, they weren't answering the phone anymore, I think she realized what had happened. She went back and said, I think I'm going to get arrested. So it's kind of crazy that she even went back to the casino, still thinks she didn't do anything wrong. It's such a bizarre story.
Yeah, absolutely. Strat is I don't like this story, Mark, because Strat is adding paid parking, and we've known that they installed the gates, a couple months ago. Now signs are going up, but the prices are hidden. And they won't even confirm to the Review Journal or anybody that they're actually going to charge. They're saying that some levels will be paid and others won't, although the gates are on the bottom. And just come out and say you're going to charge for parking. Just come out and say the price. Stop trying to hide this. Stop playing games. Yeah, Strat, I don't know. But they are, it looks like, moving towards the paid parking with the signs coming up, although we don't know how much it's going to cost. And the price will be different weekdays versus weekends.
Yeah, why add in the parking, the drawbridge? What are they called? What are the drop down things called?
Gates?
Yeah, why add the parking gates if you're not prepared to handle the backlash or the questions, if you don't have that readily available for the cost? It's crazy. And we all the jokes are, who's even going there? Are they even filling up the parking lot? Why are we charging for parking? That could be one thing that, sets you apart from the other casinos. Especially, I feel like Strat's a mix of local / tourists. So, you're going to tick off all the locals. Hopefully they do something similar to Resorts World, where if you have a player's card or something, you swipe that and get it free. Maybe that's what they're waiting to get set up. I don't know. That's my hope, at least. If they're just a flat charge, it's going to be crazy. And I don't know what they're thinking, who's going to go there, who's going to be willing to pay for it.
More importantly, they should get their press team, their communications team on this, because this has just been bad coverage and it's been stretching on because they keep revealing this in little sections. So people keep covering it and they just keep getting more bad will. They should have just announced it all at once and that's it. But I don't know, they're playing some games, but hopefully they did say to the Review Journal, the first 2 floors will remain free. So, but they also won't confirm anything else. So we'll see. I think that they really messed this up.
How do you have the first 2 floors free when you have to go through the gate to get to the first 2 floors? Like, how do they charge you after you park? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and again, they have paid parking now. They have certain spots, and I should say the first 2 floors are paid. I don't know. They do have premium parking right now. Where certain spots cost and you scan a QR code. And I'm thinking that's what they're kind of talking about. And then they'll get ready to announce it when they get ready to announce it. Yeah, bad look for Strat and not good, but be prepared to pay for their, I don't know, park somewhere else. Go park at Sahara. Go park at, the Arts District or the IHOP down the street or something. But don't pay to park at the Strat. if they want your business, they can give it to you for free. That's my opinion.
Sean's trying to get the tow trucks working at the IHOP when they start calling on people.
All right, good point. Don't park at those places. But did you see the rescue? The fire department has to, every once in a while, practice rescuing people from crazy places. And so we see these drills. A lot of people don't know, but there's an area of the Vegas Valley. I think it's around Decatur and Tropicana. I think they still have it there, where they have this staircase set up, and that's where they practice like rescuing people from hotels and other things and putting out fires in buildings. But also there's things like the high roller where people could get stuck and they may have to evacuate them. So they have to practice that. So a couple days ago, they went up there, they rescued people. They did all of the drills. We'll show you the video of it. It looks pretty dramatic and kind of a fun time to watch that happen. Although we hope that it never happens for real, because that would be pretty scary, I think.
Yeah, I don't think I want to go out on that stuff if I'm like, hey, just get it fixed and I'll sit up here and we'll wait. We'll wait it out a bit. But no, the fire people, man, they're crazy. The stuff that they have to go through to do, especially like forest fire rescues and stuff like that, and the people that fight the blazes out there and these high wire rescues, top of buildings and top of the high roller and stuff. I mean, kudos to them. I could never do it, and I wouldn't want to be up there stuck either. I'd be freaked out the whole time. So it's pretty amazing. It would be really cool to watch live. So hopefully some people watching this got to see it and experience that. I think it'd be pretty amazing.
And of course, the history of fires in Las Vegas, the MGM Grand, which was Bally's, which is now Horseshoe, had one of the biggest fires in history. And that sort of changed the whole game when it came to laws in big towers. And then, they trained so hard, and we've seen in the last few years fires at Cosmo, that big fire on the top of Monte Carlo. These guys are the best in the business at doing this stuff. And they kind of take that same dedication to this and refining their procedures and their policies, see what works and doesn't. And good for them. And it's also fun to watch. So it's a good time all around. Now, what's not a good time all around, Mark, is silver mining. And this TikTok blew up, and it kind of like took the world by storm and very controversial. Some people don't think it's wrong. Some people do think it's, great for somebody who does it. Silver mining kind of started back in the day. Remember the coin slots? And I knew people who did this. They would literally walk through casinos and kind of run their hand through the hoppers and pick up coins. And, generally people leave behind coins, and, you could make a few bucks. And homeless people did it. Some people just down on their luck. Some people just did it as a hobby. And now in the days of tickets, it's kind of similar, people kind of grabbing tickets. And this lady, said 30 minutes in a casino, she made $7. And everybody went crazy for it. I believe it's illegal in Nevada.
Who needs a job?
Money. Yeah, exactly. But, I had somebody steal money off of a machine on a cruise ship not too long ago. And I'll say steal, it was left on the machine, whatever. We don't need to debate that. But, it's not really right to do that. If somebody leaves a ticket for 16 cents sitting near an ATM machine, maybe that's different. But going in and taking money, I don't know. I don't think it's a good thing, but, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. I think it's technically illegal in Nevada. The money belongs to the people who have the ticket, and then eventually it would go back to the casino in the state for the general fund. But don't do this. This is terrible. I don't know. What do you think?
There it is. That's why it's a law, because they want that money to the government and to the casinos. And that's, I've written about this in the past, and this is what really annoys me with these, you can't get a cash out with change at some of the machines. You have to go to the teller to do it. And I think they set that up because they want people to leave these stranded, dimes and nickels and quarters. So it ends up back in their pocket, a chunk in their pocket, a chunk in the government's pocket. So, I mean, what you went through is different to me. If you see a machine that has several $100s, that's a mistake. If you see a machine that has less than $1, I think people leave that on purpose for the next person. I've done it. If I can't do another spin, I'll just leave the money in there. I'm not going to cash out a 35-cent ticket. So I don't have a problem with somebody going around and grabbing those and adding them up and going to the cage because they're doing something somebody else wasn't willing to do. I'm okay with it. I don't know, if it's against the law, whatever. But I'm more upset that this is even a thing, that they set this up so that people don't redeem for the change. They called it a COVID thing. Now they still do it. And it's just a way that they recoup some of that money back, and the government gets it too. So I think that's why it's a law, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I think the law about the theft really dates back to when we had coin slots and people would do that. And just so you know, if you're caught doing this, you will get 86 from a casino. if you grab 1 or 2 tickets, fine. But if you're spending 30 minutes walking around, chances are, security will eventually find you and they will kick you out. And I don't think it's wrong for them to do that because, to your point, if you find 30 cents on a machine or you find a ticket here or there, I don't think it's a huge issue or huge moral issue. But if you're scanning the casino, checking people out, it's just very sort of cagey. And I've seen this practice in person, and I just don't think it's good. And I also don't think it's a good way to spend your time, 30 minutes for $7. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think it all depends on how gung-ho you go. If you're doing this like for extended periods of time, I think that you're going to run into trouble. But I think if you go to a machine that you want to play anyway and there's money in there, just use it. Like if it's less than $1, I don't think you're going to have any problems. So I guess that's where it is. Like if you're searching for it nonstop, it's a thing. If you just see a stack of these bills laying around on top of ATMs or top of the cash out machines and you want to spend your time cashing those in, then I think it's fair game. So it's all about motive, really. But I don't know. I wouldn't blow up about it.
And just last thing, if you do leave money in a machine and it gets cashed out, and I'm assuming, not pennies, right? They do keep it for 90 days. So they will look back and you can claim it if you can prove that it was yours. And that's good. And then, like we said, 75% goes to the state. After that, 25% goes to the casino for administrative costs. So that's whether it's a 1 penny voucher or something much bigger than that. That's how it's handled in Nevada. And like I said, theft is what it is. I've never heard of anybody getting arrested for this. So I'm not trying to say that, you're going to go to jail. But I think the worst thing that was going to happen is you're going to get 86 from a casino and, then probably just go to the next one and start all over again.
I'm curious if anybody in the comments can or knows this, like, what is that slush fund each year? I would have to guess it's, tens to hundreds of millions of dollars left behind. And, that goes back to the state or the casino. I don't know. I'm sure it's out there somewhere. If you know this from your job or if you've just been curious and looked into it, let us know in the comments. I'd love to see that type of report.
So many interesting stories this week. Let us know in the comments what you think about all this. The silver mining, the high roller rescue, that crazy video driving down the strip, all of that stuff. Hit us up in the comments. We do 2 shows a week, Tuesdays and Fridays. We'll be back in just a few days with another show. And you can find everything Vegas related that we do, podcasts, videos, posts at mtmvegas.com. Thanks so much for watching. Talk to you next time.